Hi, everyone. Welcome to our third Parent Cafe webinar. My name is Sandoval,
And I'm Stephanie Essex.
and we are social emotional consultants at Starfish Academy, the Florida Center of Early Childhood Learning. So this month's topic is on how routines can help you and your child. So today's goals are to learn about clear rules, expectations, and routines. We will give you some examples of different rules and routines. Also, we will learn why it is so important to have rules and routines in the home. And lastly, learning some different effective ways to make rules and routines. So according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention 2019, family rules help create structure. A family rule is a specific, clear statement about behaviors you expect from your child. Rules work best when there is consistency, predictability, and follow through. So with family rules, it really helps children understand what behaviors are okay and not okay. So as children grow, they will be in places where they have to follow rules. So following rules at home can also help children learn to follow rules in other places. So there are two types of rules. So there's negotiable and non-negotiable rules. Negotiable rules allow children to have input. It also teaches children to think and give them practice in making decisions. There are the non-negotiable rules. And then today I kind of want to focus more on non-negotiable rules. So with non-negotiable rules, they are the things you will not negotiate on. So you really want to follow your values and principles and define not only what you will and won't accept from others, but also what you will and won't accept from yourself. These are like the big time deal breakers. They are the promises you keep to yourself and your family. They are boundaries that must be adhered to. They are the no's worth following through with, and they are the times when a child will walk away with a valuable lesson. So these non-negotiable rules that are decided in advance are the rules of the house, car rules, um, electronics such as tablets, video games, and television. And I'll talk a little bit more about screen time rules in a little bit. So safety, when you're in the parking lots or maybe even when they're riding their bike, and also rules about aggression. So these are like the big feelings. So how do you implement negotiable and non-negotiable rules for your family? So you want to really agree on the rules. You discuss the rules with your child ahead of time. Make a visual aid signs to help your children remember the rules. Be consistent and follow through with rewards and consequences. So in our classroom, we talk about what is always expected in the classroom almost every single day to our children. And also you can also do the same in the home too. And normally what this looks like is if one of the kids are breaking the rules, we kind of just hold their hand, bring them over to our set of rules, and we talk about the rules again and about why it can maybe hurt somebody. So yeah, if you can do it too, that would be great, so we can all be consistent. So this is just an example that we have found about our family rules. So some family rules can include such as no running in the house, no play fighting, no food outside of the kitchen, and if you need something, ask for it. And lastly, listen to each other. So I previously said that I was going to talk about screen time rules. And so with screen time rules, I know that it's a big issues in a lot of families right now where that's all kids want to do is just be on their tablet, be on their phone, or maybe just always watch television. But with all the hours spent on screen time, there's a lot of things that can happen, such as your child becomes less engaged in the real time environment, so less sensory stimulation. Too much screen time weakens communication and social skills. longer exposure to rapid image changes increases the risk of attention problems. And lastly, screen time is commonly associated with childhood hyperactivity. So with all these, you can always come up with your own rules, screen time rules. So here is also another example. So such as screen time is not private, no screen time at meal times, no screens before homework. And also maybe you can even come up with a time limit on screen time per day. So in order to give these rules, you really want to give clear instructions. So some instructions you can do is get your child's attention. You want to say their name while you're giving these rules, get on their level, with establishing an eye contact with them. And also, sometimes using touch can definitely help children know that you are being serious, such as maybe holding on hand on their back, holding hands while making this eye contact with them. Also, more with clear instructions, you really want to be clear and concise. Give one instruction at a time. You want to use like a firm voice, but not an angry voice. Phrase instruction as statement, not a question. Giving them an option to say they can do instead. And also, lastly, reward when the rules are followed. And I know that a lot of kids, they really, really love the reward charting. And in previous parent cafes and coffee with consultants, we really talk about rewarding the child when they do something great.
I love those examples of the rules you gave. And I think, having those rules in the home definitely make it easier when kids have to go to school because they look
Oh yeah.
similar in both places. And I think that's really helpful. I like the
Mm-hmm.
visual aids you put up. I mean, I think that was really clear. And really, I'm getting ready to talk about routines and schedules. And I think that having the rules set up and making them part of routine can be really helpful for kids. Whether it's having rules,
Mm-hmm.
reminding them the house rules in the morning, or, when you're getting ready to get in the car, also reminding them of the rules of the car, it's just really helpful. So, I just want to talk a little bit about schedules and routines. So, schedules are something that we create to help kids to be successful, and it can be daily, it can be a time schedule, or even an activity. And then routines are actually executing the schedule that you've created, and then helping your child to get used to that routine. And really, it's about practicing and consistency. So, and schedules and routines are really important because they help our children know what will or will not happen next, which is excellent for reducing anxiety in kids. So, why are routines important? Well, it helps children to learn important skills such as self soothing and how to form positive relationships. It can help children learn positive, responsible behavior. For example, children wash hands before they have a snack, or maybe they learn to hold an adult's hand while they're crossing the street. Having routines helps children learn to cope with transitions. So, um, having a timer or song can be helpful with transitioning. Also, special rituals can be helpful when transitioning to and from school or even caregiver to caregiver. Something cute that one of the teachers at the Starfish Academy had done with a parent was two hugs, two kisses. And I've seen some special handshakes out there. So, all of those are helpful little parts of routines that help kids with transitions. Routines can also limit the amount of behavior corrections you need to give your child throughout the day, which significantly reduces power struggles since your child can better predict what should happen next. And it also helps parents and caregivers to incorporate positive reinforcement throughout the day. So that could be like giving them a high five or a hug or a reward for following through with routine for a period. So, how do routines benefit your child? Well, routines help with learning and development. Everyday routine activities offer opportunities for learning. Brushing teeth help children learn about health and safety. Going to the grocery store helps them explore foods and learn about healthy eating. And it also helps them to make choices that can become part of their everyday meals or meals for the family. Routines also help build confidence. Children feel more confident when they know what to expect from their day. Routines teach them to make healthy and safe choices, therefore increasing their level of confidence. Routines also help children learn social skills. Having schedules and routines at school help children learn how to work things through by taking turns, sharing, learning to wait, and helping others. And playtime and meal times are two very social routines at home that also help children learn these same important social skills. Routines also help your child learn self control because it helps them learn to trust that a caring adult will provide what they need. When children feel this sense of trust and safety, they are free to play, explore, and learn, which is so important. So, types of routines. There's all types of routines, and they can be everywhere, and it can really be anything and everything. I think I put up a few of the types of routines that most people want to have. It's a bedtime routine. There's separation and reunion routines. Um, Getting children into their own bed, which is a big one. That could also be part of a bedtime routine as well. Having a morning routine. A lot of kids struggle with getting up and get going, getting dressed. So having a routine for that could be really helpful. Also, what is your household routines? You know, something to think about. The expectations and the things that need to get accomplished, whether it's chores or schoolwork, anything you can think of. And also, after school routines can be really important. So here's an example of a morning routine. So there are a few ways to begin building routines with your child. If they're 0 to 5, then making a schedule and presenting it might be the best option. That are a little older could definitely participate in creating the schedule, which would increase their chance of participation and boost their self-esteem. So choose a schedule that fits your needs. If it's the morning you're having struggles, or maybe the grocery store you're having struggles, be thinking about those things and what you might want to put into your routine. And a lot of children are very visual, so visual schedules can be a good first step. It can be time consuming, but it's extremely helpful for you and your child. If you can't print out the pictures, then I would say draw them, have your child help you. It really helps them, feel better, and it also increases that chance of participation. Once you finish your routine, then introduce it to the child and help them learn through repetition, because consistency is really the key to success. So this is an example of a daily schedule. It's broken down between morning, afternoon, and evening. There are only a few pictures in each part of the day to help make it simpler and easier for the child to remember. It's important to remember this when you're making the schedule or routine. Don't make it too long. Children have a really hard time remembering more than a few things at a time. So this is a great example. It's only 4 or 5 items per each, with morning, afternoon, and evening. Makes it a little bit easier. If you're thinking about grocery shopping routines or even car safety routines, then make maybe a small one that you could laminate and keep in your car or keep in your purse. It's handy to have available. Placement's important when you are putting up your routines. I always suggest like the refrigerator or like the back of the child's door or in their school space, whether that's at home. And just remember to be consistent. That is so important when helping these kids learn the routines. So what do I do if the routine needs to change? Well, let your child know ahead of time. And not just like an hour ahead of time, like a few days or a week ahead of time. If it's a scary or something that's challenging, talk to them about it. Social stories can be really helpful with this. And if you're proactive and address the situation, it can be a lot less scary and a lot less challenging for the child. So even even though things might be changing, remember the importance of transitional warnings with that visual timer, or maybe you have your um, child watching an episode of something and you want to tell them, okay, we got a few more minutes. When this episode's over, we're going to turn the TV off and transition to whatever else you're doing. You can also interact and play with your child, and sometimes that helps them transition out of an activity or play a little more easily. So change is hard. We know that with kids, they can struggle with that a lot, especially if they have anxiety or difficulty with flexibility. So try to put yourself in their shoes and realize that their feelings matter, and it's important to identify and reflect these feelings. It helps them feel valued, which in turn may make the change easier for the both of you. Be consistent. And I feel like I've said this like a few times, but be consistent with the new routine and make sure that you add changes to your visual schedule to make it easier for the child. Um, Changes can be positive if they're managed right. We want a model that change is positive, and being consistent helps your child feel safe and secure. So, next, I just put up, well, y'all know because I talk about all the time that I just really like books. I think they're extremely useful. So I listed some books up here that you can make part of your routines. There's Good Morning and Good Night Yoga by Miriam Gates. It has some cool little movements that you can incorporate into the nighttime routine or the daytime routine. It helps get kids moving and also get them relaxed. Breathe Like a Bear by Kira Willie is one of my favorite books. There's 30 mindfulness activities. And it's not just breathing, there's also like sending positive thoughts into others and kindness activities. So, very cool. And then 10 Minutes to Bed is another bedtime routine book. And then Pigeon Needs a Bath is a funny little book by Mo Willems about bath time routine. So, I just wanted to give those resources to you so you could check out some of these books. I think you can find them all on Amazon, and they're usually about $5 to $10. So, lastly, these are our resources. I like to put them up here so you could take a look. This is where we got our information. There are actually a lot of other great things on both of these sites for you to check out. We highly recommend them. And we always thank you for checking out Parent Cafe. We love providing resources and support. And you can always email us or call us. We're available. So we look forward to seeing you next month, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.